is okay. So today we are going to make peppermint rum balls. I put up the post yesterday, so you should be able to snag it from the page. Maybe if somebody is here with me, you could grab it off of the blog and put it in the comments for me. That would be delightful. If not, I will grab it and put it in there later. So for the recipe, we are going to need one package of Nilla wafer cookies. Whether you get store brand or Nilla wafer, it doesn't matter. You just need the little vanilla wafer cookies. Okay, so those go into the container along with our crumbs, which usually crumbs are a bad thing, but today we don't mind. So nuts, you can use whatever you have. Walnuts are traditional. I tend to use pecans or pecans pretty often. You can use whatever you've got on hand. It's holiday baking season, so you probably have quite a bit to choose from. Just whatever you like. The most important thing is that they are toasted. It actually does make a difference. You're not doing it just to do it. You can taste the difference. So take, 5-6 minutes and toast them in the oven. It probably 7 minutes or so, and they're good to go. So once those are done, those go into the food processor as well. Okay, so even though we're making peppermint rum balls, this is the same procedure for all of them. It's every single rum ball is going to start the same. It's wafer cookies and nuts in the bowl of a food processor to grind them up. So whatever makes you happy. Okay, it's going to get loud for a second. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So you want this to look kind of like coarse sand. Let's get all this out of here and be careful because they do tend to get up there and make a little bit of a mess. Okay, so if you can see that, oops, it's getting all over the computer. That's what they look like, okay? So it's pretty small little bits, not any big chunks. It just looks sort of like fine rubble. Then, okay, so then in a medium bowl, I've got things all over the table so that I can just grab them. So in a medium bowl, this is about the size I've got. It holds like 3 quarts, but you probably don't even need that big. You're going to combine your rum, powdered sugar, a little bit of salt. So I've just got a little salt here. Okay, so that's a ½ teaspoon. A cup of powdered sugar, that goes in there, and your rum. Now, for this recipe, I've used white rum. You can use whatever you have on hand. Surprisingly, I have a lot of alcohol in the house. I'm not a big drinker, so it's kind of funny that I have so much of it. It's mostly for other people and for cooking. So this is white rum. This is what I used in this recipe. Normally, I do not use this kind of rum. I usually use like an amber rum or a dark rum. This smells kind of pretty clean. It doesn't really have a whole lot of like spice to it. That's the reason that I chose this one, because peppermint is pretty powerful on its own, and we don't really want the rum to compete with the flavor of the peppermint. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit clean as far as the rum is concerned. However, if you don't have white rum and you have something else, just use it. Use what you have, because obviously if you have it, you like it. So use what you have. This is another kind of rum that I use pretty often. Also, I will say, don't use your best stuff. Don't use your like super expensive rum. It's a rum ball. It's, use whatever you have. But if you have like an extra special bottle that costs you an arm and a leg, this is not the time to use that. Save that for sipping. So this one, having said that, is a little bit of a spendy bottle, but not terrible. It was a gift, so I don't feel bad using it because they, you know, it wasn't my hard-earned money, it was somebody else's. So this is an amber rum, so you can use that if you have. This I got on a trip a long time ago, black rum. So black rum, really potent, but smells amazing. So if you have this kind, go ahead and use it. Or, last but not least, for my Newfoundland family, a bit of Screech. So if you have this, use this. Okay? So whatever you've got, any kind of rum will do. We're using this one. So let's see, a half a cup. Okay. Okay, so there's about a half cup. And then you're just going to stir this together. Oh, and we need to put our extract in too. Okay, so you'll see it's just kind of liquidy. You're just going to stir it together. You can kind of see in there. Okay, so if anybody is making it along with me right now, you should just have a little pool of liquid in there. Okay, so then we're going to grab our extract and we're just going to put a little bit in here. Okay. Oh, and we need our corn syrup. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of this. If you don't want to use corn syrup, you can use maple syrup, you can use honey, you can use agave, you could use date syrup, really anything, any kind of sweetener that you like. I just happen to have this for, you know, pies and such, so that's what I'm using. Okay, so pour that in there. And hopefully I didn't forget anything. I think we're good. Okay. Okay, so got that in there. Settle that aside. And then just give that a quick stir to make sure everything gets mixed up. And it smells fantastic already. Now, you have, once we're going to dump this, our rubble, into the bowl. Once you get this all set and mixed together, it's going to go into the fridge to just rest for about a half an hour. That's kind of just to give the cookies and everything a chance to soak up all the liquid. Okay, we're just going to pretend that ours rested and hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, so you really do need to let them rest, so this might not work very well because they do need to sort of solidify, and I meant to make some ahead of time, but I just didn't get to it this morning. Okay, so this is basically what it's going to look like. Okay, so once that is done, you're going to cover this with plastic, and let it sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes. Then once that time is up, scoop. So this is, I put a link in the blog post to the proper size scoop. This is a tablespoon size. If you make them bigger, you're not going to get as many, obviously. If you make them smaller, you will get more. So the recipe is based on this size, a 1 tablespoon scoop. So just know that if you use a different size, you're going to end up with either less or more, just depending. Okay? So then you decide what you want to roll them in. Normally, I just roll them in powdered sugar. Just get really to roll them, a bowl like this works best. One that's kind of wide and shallow as opposed to one like this that's really deep. So see the difference? So this one definitely has it, my words are failing. Sorry, I had a rough night with sugar. Sloped sides as opposed to just more straight down. This is better for tossing anything. So put your powdered sugar in your bowl, or if you are going to use candy canes like I did, you just want to break them up into small pieces and toss them in the bowl of a food processor. I have a small one that holds about 4 cups or so. That's perfect for this kind of stuff. It will get lost in a big one. Your other option is to just put them, unwrap them, break them into little pieces, put them in a little zippy bag, and just bash them with a rolling pin or whatever you have. So yesterday I made some, and this is what they look like when you cover them in candy cane. So they are really cute, but they do get a little bit sticky because it's candy. So you want to make sure that when you're letting them hang out in the fridge, place them in a single layer on a lined sheet pan, okay? So don't pile them all together because they will stick together, and then you'll have a bit of a mess on your hand. So make sure that you lay them out in a nice single layer on a parchment lined sheet pan. So grab your cookie scoop. We're going to pretend that this has rested for 30 minutes. It has not. You want to, when you're rolling rum balls, the best tip I can give you is to press the mixture with the palm of your hand into the scoop so that you're packing it really tight. Okay? So pack it in there, then in the ball of your, or the palm of your hands, kind of press it together a little bit when you roll. And then we're going to toss it in powdered sugar. Just give it a little toss around. And voila, done. Okay? So then these can sit on the parchment lined sheet pan for about an hour or so in the fridge just to let them firm up. I would take them out probably about 15 minutes or so before you want to serve them, just so that they come to room temperature a little bit. You don't want them to be like ice cold. Let me just check to make sure that we don't have, oh hey, finally I can see comments. For some reason they were not showing up, and now I can see them. Okay, so Christy's here. Hey, Vinny. Oh, Vinny says he wanted to make these last year. Here's the thing, Vin. They really don't take any time at all. So, like, I know this time of year is crazy for us, but if you have, seriously, like 45 minutes, you can bang these out and no problem. And for some reason, Facebook doesn't always let me see everybody, and I meant to get everything set up, but next time I'm going to have an actual comment moderator. But like I said, we had a rough night last night, so I didn't get to everything that I was hoping to get to today, and my apologies. So that's it. I mean, it's so easy. And like I said, even though we're making peppermint, this is the same deal for any rum ball that you're making. I mean, you can just change them out. So like last year, I made cinnamon, which were my favorite. If you have not tried the cinnamon rum balls, I highly recommend them. And also the pumpkin ones were really, really good. And gingerbread. Then I made white chocolate ones, coconut, chocolate coconut, coconut covered, cherry rum balls. I mean, it was a rum ball factory here last year. So there's so many different kinds. You can change them up however you want to make them. And like I said, use whatever rum you want to make. It doesn't, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you make whatever you like. So obviously, if you hate rum, these might not be for you. If you like bourbon, you can just swap it out and put bourbon in place of the rum. If you don't have pecans or walnuts, use whatever you have. I mean, really, I don't get all caught up in, you know, well, it's supposed to be this or whatever. Just use whatever you have. Especially right now, going to the store is a bit dodgy for a multitude of reasons right now. So just, you know, wing it. Use whatever you got. So, I mean, that's all there is to it. It's super easy peasy. And look, we've been on for, what, 15 minutes, and they're already done. So and they're no bake, so yay. So I mean, that's really it. It's so easy. And like I said, in 15 minutes, we are literally done. So should this chill? Yes. But obviously, I can do it without it. So that's all. So it's really easy, super quick. And I just wanted to show you guys how fast and easy these are to make, especially if you need like a little last minute treat for this time of year. Holidays are stressful. This year is extra stressful. So, you know, I always say about rum balls, if I can feel like I'm having a drink and a cookie at the same time, I'm totally in. So this is basically that. A drink and a cookie had a delicious, delicious baby. And they're really great. Oh, I should also tell you, they're really great for shipping. So like this, usually we have a big cookie exchange with, you know, with friends and whatever, and that's not happening this year because we're not seeing everybody. But even if you have, like, I don't have any family here, so usually I send things to family. So if you also tend to ship cookies to friends and family, these are perfect because they hold up really good. They're not, or really well, I should say. They're not going to arrive in pieces. They will stay together because they're nice and sticky, which probably isn't a great word to use to describe them, but they are. They stick together, and I mean, they're not sticky when you eat them, but they will be great for when you ship. They're going to stay intact. They're not going to break up into a bunch of pieces like a biscotti. Also great for shipping. So that's it. Oh, one other thing I wanted to tell you. If you decide to grind up candy canes to use them, so this is the mixture that I made yesterday. It does get a little bit sticky, again, because it's candy, but also, I don't know if you can see it, you want to make sure that you have some larger pieces in there. Mine got a little bit chunky because this was from yesterday. When I did this the first time, I took the candy canes a little bit too far and they became kind of powdery. And the rum balls, I kid you not, looked like they were coated in Pepto-Bismol. It was not pretty. It's not the look I was going for. So those were like 86. And tried again, and this time I did it much better. I didn't let the candy canes get too ground up, so they're like smaller pieces. So you can, this one's a little bit sticky, but you can see. So that's about the size that you want to go for. So you want some texture on that. The other ones that were too much, it's not good. So let me see, is there any questions, comments? Ooh, Vinny, that sounds amazing. Use the coquito. That sounds so good. And also, can you send me some coquito? Because, you know, girl might like some. Yes. So, suggestions for a match with amaretto. I actually was thinking about this earlier this morning. I kid you not. Christy and I share a brain sometimes. So the amaretto, I was thinking about making another one with like almond or different kinds of maybe hazelnuts or whatever. So next year that's probably going to be on the menu. I don't know that I'll get it done for this year, but that would be fantastic. Try any kind of, I mean, really any kind of alcohol that you have that you like. If rum isn't your thing, then swap it out with something else that you do have that you like. And there are, with chocolate, there is a recipe for chocolate rum balls on the blog, and also the original one, just called the Easy Rum Ball Recipe. Super basic, rum, powdered sugar, pecans, and some allspice, salt, corn syrup. I think that's everything that's in there. That one, if you want to add a little bit of cocoa powder, you can make them sort of like with a little bit of chocolatey flavor to them. But there's also one that's a straight up chocolate rum ball on the blog, I believe. So that's it. I hope that everybody had fun hanging out for a little bit today, and I hope that you all have a great holiday. And maybe we will, is tomorrow, what's today? Is today Wednesday? Yeah, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. So maybe I'll pop on here tomorrow and we can make hot chocolate together, because it's actually supposed to be chilly here tomorrow, so I'm super excited about that. It's usually warm in Florida for Christmas, and being a northerner, you know, moving from New York to here and having an 80-degree Christmas, I will never, ever, ever, ever get used to that. It's very strange to me to be walking around in shorts and a t-shirt on Christmas. So tomorrow is actually supposed to get nice and chilly, and so that'll be perfect hot chocolate weather. So maybe we'll reconvene here tomorrow and we'll eat some of these rum balls and make hot chocolate. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for everybody for hanging out a little bit, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.